So you're at the end of your rope. You can't take it anymore. Life is beating you down. Hang in there. Hang in there. Let's talk about it.
Brotha T!
Oh, it's good.
Good and terrible.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terry Guy Wilson, aka yo boy Brotha T, here with another one. So we like to thank you and welcome to the New Life Tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel. You'll get it. Remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things. Today, we're going to just encourage somebody because there's somebody out there who feel like life is just whooping on you. And sometimes life whoops on all of us. So we're going to encourage you to keep going. However, it's always easier said than done, right? So we're going to tell you from experience that if you tough through it and you make it through to the other side, things are going to get better. You know, it's almost cliche to this point to tell a person to hang in there. You wait, you know, your miracle is around the corner. Just wait. You know, God has a blessing for you right over the hill. You got to give, you know, all of that stuff is cliche at this point, even though it's true. But we've so used to hearing it that we don't truly, some of us don't truly believe it, right? We don't buy into it. It's just some cliche that we say. But I can tell you that your life is going to get better. I don't care where you are right now. If you take a look around you, if you really take an assessment of the people around you in your neighborhood, in your city, whatever, you're 100% going to find people that are in worse positions than you. I almost guarantee it. I almost guarantee it. So to take something that's happening in your life in the moment right now, even though it's tragic, even though it's terrible, if you give up now, gently,
That was a mistake.
hang in there. I want you to know that tomorrow is a whole nother chance for you to get up and have a new day. Things that didn't go well yesterday can go better today, can go better tomorrow. Do you get what I'm saying? It's never too late for you to reinvent yourself. I don't care if you're 80 years old. Sometimes you can make adjustments in your life. If you're making the same mistake over and over again and it affects your life in a negative way, you can absolutely start doing things today that will end up paying off tomorrow. It might take a while. I can't guarantee any results. It all depends on you. It all depends on how dedicated you'll be to changing your life. It all depends on how dedicated you are to believing that you're going to be that person. We all go through things, right? And sometimes our mentality will keep us in those same positions for things to happen to us. In other words, Yoda,
You must unlearn what you have learned.
going through with the same things, the same way, having the same mentality, we end up with the same results. Isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. What I need you to do is find out how you can get better results. And then I want you to do those things over and over again. Because if you keep doing those things over and over again, once again, I can't guarantee that everything's going to change overnight. But if you stay so consistent and you believe in it and you keep moving towards it, they call this the law of attraction. These things are going to be, summoned to you. But it's not just hocus pocus magic and I just do these things and then, magically they appear. What you're doing is you're putting energy towards them, real energy. This is not magic dust. This is energy. Energy exists. Energy exists. You can see energy, you know, in all different kinds of ways in your life. So if you put energy towards something, you're naturally pulling it in. It's like a magnet. Look at it like that. So if it's something you want, if it's something that you know is yours to have, if you put all your energy towards it and you keep doing it and you won't get deterred and you're so confident and you're so determined to do it and you keep doing it over and over and over again, your attention keeps going there, your energy keeps going there, eventually that thing will come to you. This is almost guaranteed, right? Don't be unrealistic. Don't be delusional. Don't, wake up tomorrow and you're fresh out of jail talking about you want to be president, right? Nonsense, right? But if you know that you want to start a business and you want to get that business off the ground and you want to become one of the best businesses in that sector, in that industry, you got to put the work in. Don't just wish for it and it happens. I want you to get those skills that you need to become that a worker or business. I want you to hone your craft. I want you to, every client, I want you to treat them like you would want a company to treat you. Do not look down on certain clients over other clients, especially if they're paying the same amount. If they look different, you get what I'm saying. I want you to have the same work ethic, have integrity in what you do, have pride in your work. You get what I'm saying. Put your energy towards what you want. Eventually, you will turn into that thing. You're not always going to see it, but the people around you, they're definitely going to say, well, something's different about him, man. He's working different. He's doing these fly things. And I see him out there with his business and it's going well. And oh man, he must be doing something right. He or she, right? I just say he because I'm a man. That's my perspective. But he or she is doing something right. They're doing something right. They're moving on. I can see it even in their character and the way they move. Now, some people are going to talk against you. Some people are maybe try to stop you from doing what you're doing, right? I want you to ignore them. It's easier said than done, but I want you to look at them a certain way, especially if they don't understand your goal, if they don't understand the dream that you're headed towards. You look at them and they're going to look crazy to you after a while. At first, you're going to believe it, especially your subconscious. It's going to take some of that negative talk, especially if you're saying the same things to yourself too. And they're just reinforcing what your subconscious is trying to get you to believe. We'll talk about the subconscious in a minute. But when you start believing them, I'll need you to start looking at them as if they're crazy, because they're going to talk to you like you're crazy. But I need you to look at them like they're on crack. They're on you doing drugs. Mike?
When you're using drugs, you're only cheating yourself out of the chance to find out who you really can be.
So I need you to start looking at it like that. You're the alien here. You're the one that's not fitting in, because I know exactly where I'm going and, I'm going to get there. So let's pause and talk briefly about the subconscious. I won't go too deep today, but I need you to know that you have a conscious, then you have a subconscious. Sometimes your conscious mind is things that you choose to do. Those are decisions you make in the moment. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When you do something subconsciously, these are things that you do on autopilot. These are times where you react to something and then you turn around like, why did I do that? Right? Why did I react like that? I don't even know. Those are subconscious things. A lot of you can understand, or you've been through situations where something triggered something from your childhood, or there was something said or something did to you and you instantly thought of something from the past and you just reacted, right? Sometimes you reacted violently even. Those are triggers from your subconscious. I need you to be very aware of your subconscious. This thing called the subconscious can keep you from going where you're supposed to be in life. Because if you have things in your subconscious saying you're not good enough, saying that you never will be good enough, saying that, hey, how can you do that? You're not adequate enough. If you start believing these things coming from your subconscious, then you'll never get where you're trying to go. So you say, well, how can you ignore the subconscious, Brother T, if you're telling me that it's automatic? What you need to do is just you need to brainwash yourself. Basically, you need to retrain your subconscious by putting things in it, affirmations. Sometimes you can go to sleep and listen to certain things, motivational things. They'll train your subconscious. You have to brainwash yourself because you've been believing lies all this time. What lies? Lies that you're not good enough. Lies that you'll never be good enough. Lies that you're crazy. What are you doing? Why are you trying so hard to do this thing? It's going to, you're never going to get where you're going to get. These are all subconscious thoughts. Once you reprogram it, and you start getting those positive affirmations, you can listen to different music. Sometimes music can affect your subconscious, believe it or not. It goes right in there. Those things from your childhood. Sometimes you have to heal those wounds. Let's say when you were young, your father used to abuse you, or your mother. They could have did it verbally. They could have did it physically. They could have did it all types of ways. You'll have to heal from this stuff. That might involve some tears. It might involve some apologies, right? Not apologies, but forgiveness, actually. But the forgiveness is not for them. The forgiveness is not for them. One more time, the forgiveness is not for them. I feel like Umar Johnson. The forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. And it's for you. That's not a cliche. I'm not saying the forgiveness is for you. So, every kumbaya, my Lord. That's not what I'm saying. The forgiveness is for you because you won't be able to turn the page and write the next chapter of your book, your story that stars you, unless you flip the page on that chapter, right? So if you keep living in that chapter, then you're forever going to be living in chapter 6. I need you to start writing chapter 7. You can't do that until you deal with those things that happen to you. Once again, this might involve some tears. This might involve some things and you thinking about things that happened that you really didn't want to think about. So you might have to dig deep. You might have to forgive some people. You might not even have to tell them that you forgive them, but in your mind, in your heart, you can forgive what was done. I'll give you an example. Let's go back to that scenario, whether your mother or father was abusive to you physically when you were younger. Sometimes if you dig deep enough, you'll find out that they were abused when they were younger. And then, you can keep going through the generations. And you'll also find that one reason why they could have been abusive is that those were the only tools they had to deal with the situation. You don't know what the stress was at that time. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, understand from their perspective that the way they chose to handle things was a byproduct of the tools they had at the time, especially if they're not that way now, right? In your advanced years, when you're a little more mature and you find out, hey, they don't act like that now, or they have other kids and grandkids, they don't do that stuff. Yeah, that's because at the time, that's how they thought they had to deal with certain things. Once you heal these things, then you can move forward. Then you can be that person. You can be more whole. These things won't trigger you. And then you can put positive things in your subconscious. You can program it, like I said, through affirmations. You can go to sleep listening to affirmations. You can look at more positive stuff on the TV. Get away from the trash TV, the things that push the trash in the culture. Stay away from that stuff. I'm not saying you can't watch what you want to watch on TV. But if you're trying to reprogram your subconscious, you might have to get rid of some of the filth, right? And you don't know it's filth. You remember, you ever see somebody, or you ever experience, some of you probably been in a situation where you're in a house and you're living in garbage and filth and it smell bad, but you don't smell it anymore because you've been living in it, right? And then somebody comes in from the outside, right? I used to be a cable guy, so I used to walk in some houses like, oh my God, like, how are you living in here? How are you living in here? People are in there and they're in there so long that they're just used to the situation. They're used to the lifestyle. They're used to everything. So they don't notice it anymore. But you on the outside looking in, you can see every detail of the filth. Trust me, I've been in some bad houses. All right. So when you start cleaning out that filth, this is metaphorically speaking, out of your life, you start to notice some things you were doing that you didn't realize were detrimental to your own health. Eating is one of those things. That's one of the reasons I don't eat pork anymore, right? So we need to, and I'm not saying don't eat pork, by the way. That was just my personal decision because it worked better for me when I didn't do it. Look at how much energy I have right now. I shouldn't even have this much energy right now. I should be dead tired. If you knew what I did within a day's time, you would be like, man, you should be passed out right now. But I'm energetic. I'm full of life. Why? Because I'm talking to my people right now. I'm motivating you. I'm trying to get you to the next version of you, the you 2.0. It's time to move. Stop sitting down. Don't feel sorry for yourself. You can do it. You need to move to the next level. Like I said, if you have to clean out some of that trauma, clean out that trauma. Retrain your subconscious. Tell your subconscious what to do. Tell your subconscious how great you are. Tell your subconscious where you're going to be when you get there. This is your man, Terrion Wilson, aka Brotha T. I'm going to talk to you next time, family. I had so much fun. Peace.